Penguin Random House Audio presents Playing for Keeps, Michael Jordan and the World He Made by David Halberstam. Read for you by J.D. Jackson. Chapter 1. Paris, October 1997. In the fall of 1997, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, once of Wilmington, North Carolina, and now of Chicago, Illinois, arrived in Paris, France, with his team, the Chicago Bulls, to play a preseason tournament run by McDonald's, one of his principal corporate sponsors, as well as a very important corporate sponsor of the National Basketball Association. Even though it featured some of the better European teams, the tournament was not, in terms of the level of play, likely to be competitive for a top NBA team like the Bulls. Nor was it supposed to be. It was a part of the NBA's relentless and exceptionally successful attempt to showcase the game and its star players in parts of the world where basketball was gaining in popularity, particularly among the young. It was also done in no small part because it delighted the league's corporate sponsors by opening up and solidifying critical international markets. Not surprisingly, the American players did not take the competition very seriously. Nor did their announcers. When the Celtics played in the tournament a few years earlier, their longtime announcer, Johnny Most, a man who did not always have an easy time with the names of American players, gave up completely, and fans back in Boston were treated to, and so the short guy with the mustache throws it into the tall guy with the beard. The Bulls arrived to play for the Hamburger Championship of the World, as they often did these days, with all the fanfare of a great touring rock band. They were the Beatles of basketball, one writer had said years before, and in fact, they flew over in the 747 normally used by the Rolling Stones for their tours. There had been a time when Michael Jordan had regarded France as a kind of sanctuary, a place where he could vacation and escape the burden of his fame, sitting outdoors in front of a cafe and savoring the role of anonymous tourist. His appearance on the Olympic Dream Team 5 years earlier and his subsequent mounting international fame had ended that. His gross income had more than doubled, but he had lost Paris. He was as recognizable and as mobbed here as anywhere else. Huge crowds waited outside his hotel all day long, hoping for the briefest glimpse of the man French journalists called the world's greatest basketeur. At the games themselves, the French ball boys seemed unwilling to serve their own team and wanted to work only with the Bulls. Some of the French players inked Michael's number 23 on their sneakers as a means of commemorating their brush with greatness. At Bercy, the arena in which the games were played, copies of his uniform jersey sold for the equivalent of a mere $80. Jordan awaited like a king, read the headline announcing his arrival in the sports daily L'Équipe. The games had been sold out for weeks, and the French press seemed ready to give Jordan head of state treatment and cut him some slack, when, during a press conference, he confused the Louvre, a great museum, with the luge, a dangerous winter sport. No one came down hard on him, though it was just the kind of mistake an American might make that normally the French would have seized on with great enthusiasm to show the barbarity of the New World. Michael has captured Paris, said another newspaper, and a writer added, the young Parisians, lucky enough to get into the Bercy, must have dreamed beautiful dreams, for their hero had been everything they could have hoped for. Noting that Jordan was wearing his celebrated beret, journalist Thierry Marchand enthused, we shall be able to call him Michel. Francois went even further. Michael Jordan is in Paris, it said. That's better than the Pope. It's God in person. The games themselves were not in fact very good. If anything, they were just short of an embarrassment. The Bulls performed sluggishly, but managed to beat Olympiakos Piraeus of Greece in the final. Jordan's celebrated teammates Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen were not there, and Tony Kukoc, once the best player in all of Europe, scored 5 points. Jordan scored 27, but was not pleased to have to play without two critically important teammates. Staying home
Sample complete. Ready to continue?